Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the old school, new vibes, where the older and the new G's speak about the golden era and the modern era. Old school, new school, need the murder.
All
right, we're gonna start this one off with a meditation session,
and then right into this.
Eating the cats, eat the cat, eat the cat,
Eating the cats, eat the cat.
Are you recording?
Yeah, I'm good. Everything's good. Eat the cat.
That's what they're doing, my peoples. They're eating dogs, eating cats out here. It's a dog world, but that ain't new. What's good? We are OSNV. We are back.
Yeah.
Live and direct from the high end of Astoria.
Hands real quick. We are back.
Special episode today. Special episode. We got two guests with us.
Wow.
Not one, but two. Bow.
Yeah. Towards Night, freestyle extraordinaire. Say what's up.
What's up, everybody?
And we got Iz the Realest over there, man.
What's going on, y'all?
Yo,
next to his bro.
I kind of know Iz a little.
Just a little.
Just a little.
We're kind of familiar too, yeah.
T-Weapons alumni in the building.
How's everybody doing?
We here, and where we at? We at the high end,
Shout out to high end.
A little high ourselves, but we are here, man. Shout out to them for for the space again. That
we
is
on the
always
high end of
available.
the high end.
Yeah, man. So what's good, my peeps, man?
What's the latest?
It's been a minute, especially you. How long it's been now, man? Like
the release party, I think, right?
Yeah,
It's been a few months. Yeah.
Was that like a month now? It's been like a month and a half now.
Yeah, and for those, we go back, aside from us just interviewing him for the show he has going on right now, and definitely we'll dive into that. But just want to give him a little history class on how we met, and we could take it from there. So.
Yeah. Me and TN go back to SAE, man. We both taught there at the same time. It was like 2011, 2012, around there, and we've been building ever since, man. We've owned a couple studios together, one in Brooklyn, one in Manhattan, and we've been building. I've actually been on his Twitch stream a couple of times. I was a guest on his TN and guest segment.
I peeped that a few times too.
Yeah, man. I had a lot of fun too, man. Why don't you tell the people, the OSNV audience, a little bit about what you do?
Yo, so I've been streaming on Twitch for a little over 3 years. I got into this streak where I've been practicing every single day, so I have to do at least 7 freestyles per day. So today was like number 936. So even on days where I don't feel like doing it, like I make myself do it, and it's like
rewarding.
Not to go too deep into it, down a rabbit hole, but like it was this whole concept of discipline.
It's okay to get
Art goes down many rabbit holes in this program.
That's his middle name.
I just like to acknowledge milestones, right? Because you have to acknowledge those. You can't just keep trucking it. You got to stop and be like, yo, I'm fucking doing this shit. Right. So what you doing, maybe the first 5-10 episodes, okay? It's, you're doing your thing. But when you look back and you see the work, the extensive work, bro, and that's like almost 1,000, episodes. Now you have a catalog. Now, it's much more than just like a one or two thing. This is now you're kind of etching a niche, your own.
You need deep in it now, yeah,
man. And again, I just, from the few episodes I jumped in, I was like, yo, this is dope, man. I could definitely tap into this, and seeing that grow. So
what made you start streaming on Twitch?
So I gotta call out, shout out Harry Mack. Harry Mack is like,
I was gonna reference him eventually, but
and I guess I didn't when you asked what I do, to give a general idea, whether it's a practice or it's like a non-practice, because I have different kind of series. I get prompts from people, whether it's mad people just giving me random words as I'm freestyling, and the words are just scrolling by, and I'm trying to hit each word and then trying to do something with it or whatever.
Off the dome, like no preparation.
Or I'll ask people for 3 words, or I'll have guests on and they'll give me up to 6 words, and I got to memorize that shit. and like ask people to not put them in the chat because I want to memorize them and see if I can remember them and freestyle for
You've
that.
done more than 6 though, right? What's the most amount of words that you remembered in a freestyle?
26.
Damn,
but it was after
crazy.
doing
Damn, bro, that's some Jay-Z.
But you went through a few beats.
I went through. I did like 6 for each, like a bunch of them or something like that, and like some extra. It might be 26. I forget the number, 20 something. But then at the end of doing like freestyles for sets of 6, I did a final freestyle that I had to remember all the ones that I had just done, all the words. Which is like a mind fuck because can I say fuck?
Probably
Yeah, bro. We curse all the time.
The kids are watching.
It's rated mature audience.
Mature audience only.
Nah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's just a mind fuck because then sometimes you get into a point where you're trying to still keep going, but then you're trying to remember what the fuck the word is.
And like, not stumble over your bars. Yeah.
And your brain is like telling you the wrong word and you're like, no, it's not that. And your brain's like, okay, is it that? And you're like, no, I just fucking told you it's not that. And like, you're still like trying to rap like something while that's going on in your brain.
Have you gone to EOW? Like, that?
Nah, not yet. I want to. That
sure
and
it,
Legendary
right?
Cypher. Yeah,
Okay, yeah. That welcomes.
Is EOW still doing that thing?
Yeah, they're still
Really?
doing
I
it.
believe
But
it's
in
still
another
doing it.
location.
Not as consistent, right? Before
Right,
it was
it's
like
like
every
showcases
Sunday.
every couple of months.
This is like
kinda
every
thing.
other, but that's what they do all day. You know, even they have these MC challenges where there's like different obstacle courses and shit, but verbal obstacle course. You start off, I think, with like a written, and then you have like a grab bag where there'll just be random items in there.
Nice.
Yeah, we were actually part of that. It was dope, man. Shout out to EOW. It was we were actually the first group, right?
What?
For the EOW MC Challenge.
Oh yeah, MC Challenge. First group winner.
Personally, I find
First group winners.
freestyling to be the hardest thing that you can do. I mean, I could write.
Oh, yeah.
I could write for days, but freestyling, I can't go about 2 bars.
There's an
I was
element of
never big on
freestyle,
freestyling.
which is just like surrendering to like improv.
That's what I would call
I've
it.
heard.
It's a
I don't know what it is that I'm just.
sure.
I just start stumbling.
Not to draw parallels to comedy, but you have when comedians do crowd work, right? You see them just the crowd throws them topics and they start talking about it, freestyling about the topics on the spot, and that's how they develop their muscle
Improv,
reflex,
That's interesting.
improv.
I've never
knowledge.
really saw
Matt Rife does that a lot. He spends like
Yeah.
his whole set just talking to people
Word.
in the crowd.
Yeah.
It's funny for the most part.
Yeah.
There's a couple of dry parts that will come here and there, but you can tell that it's on the spot, so you kind of give him a little leeway and you sort of keep on watching it to see where it goes.
I've seen a few of his sound bites. I feel like that's so we live in a world of just sound bites, bro.
Word,
There's
yeah.
no more depth or richness to shit.
it's just
right?
about what it is.
It's
just
a
like the-
TikTok
it's
TikTok
one-liners, bro.
generation.
One-liners.
Short stories, short clips. That's what
like,
everybody wants to see.
I'm sorry, but back to the Twitch channel. How long have you had the channel for?
It's gonna be over 3 years. I think I'm coming up on my 3rd year.
You
Shit,
just
I
hit a
should know this.
milestone, right?
Yeah, just hit 2,000 followers.
Nice.
So what
Nice.
goes on it? Like, how many follows you trying to hit? What are the next steps for you?
So the 2001 was big for me because I just wanted to hit that number at least, and like, of course, like in the 1900s, it would be like 1955, and then like the next day, like three people would
people
unfollow,
unfollowed,
and like
yeah.
it was that freaking game for like a few months, and
Right.
then like just like this last few weeks, it just like shot up, and like
That's
it
what's
gave me
up.
that like nice little cushion because I'm at
What did you do?
2009 right now.
I'm sorry. What do you think you like? What did you do in the last few months that kind of changed that? Are you
pushed
doing
it
more
there?
shorts or?
I mean, my followers just come through randomly.
So it's just random. You don't think
or
you
like-
did anything differently?
Or so the big thing about Twitch and like the thing that's really dope that I'm hoping YouTube will eventually do, because I think that'd be really ill if they had that as well, is the raid system. So the way that raids work is like, let's say you're doing a stream, right, and you have like 40 people watching, right, and you're done with your stream. Instead of everybody piecing out, right, you pick another streamer who's live at that time, and then you basically send all those people
party
over to
over there.
them,
Okay.
right?
Oh, shit.
And then you have a raid call that's something that's like, like I have my thing, Tien and the Night Riders coming through to your cool as fuck stream or some shit like that with like emotes and whatever.
Right.
And people just spam that when they go into the stream, and the person gets excited because they got a bunch of new people.
They could
And
gain
then-
followers off of that.
and there's
basically.
crisscross following, because then they shout me out in their channel. They're like, drop a follow for the raider. It's called a raid. You're like raiding over
I'm
to
surprised
another.
nobody's selling that yet. Like, hey, I can, make your live popping.
Oh, like the way they monetized everything
Yeah,
else.
bro.
So you don't necessarily have to be a gamer to,
No.
have
No,
some
it's just
success
grown past that,
inside
yeah.
of Twitch.
Twitch.
During COVID, there were a lot of DJs on there doing live
And
stuff.
they still
are.
stay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
COVID was the big thing that changed it from being just a gaming thing
That's
to
what
like
kind of elevated society into more of the technical.
Elevated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It changed the game, bro.
That's to be
Changed
argued
everything.
with. But
Yes, that's to be determined.
Change dress codes, everything, bro. Like even corporate jobs.
Yeah,
like,
because nobody gives a fuck.
Nobody gives a
anymore.
shit
Like, yo,
anymore,
we
yeah.
might die tomorrow.
Everybody's working
it's so
from home
funny.
I'm
now,
gonna show
bro.
up in my fucking chanclas, you know?
You lucky I showed up. Shit, yeah.
Yeah, so-
You got anything that you're like promoting right now or getting ready for or anything like that? I think you mentioned you were going to TwitchCon next week.
yeah, and I'm deciding
TwitchCon.
it's so
Oh,
close
shit.
it's so close to it that like I think it's okay for me to celebrate at TwitchCon. So I'm gonna do some kind of
man.
celebration there. I
so
haven't,
like
just
a
haven't figured
live
out.
app?
Yeah. I mean, I was already planning to walk around. So I got myself like a cart that I have like a freaking tripod connected to, and
Hey, yo.
with a camera, and I walk around with a freaking with a speaker, and I rap.
Yeah,
for people
just-
like on the street. So I did it
You
in
have a
Central Park.
little barcode, a little
QR code.
Yeah, I got a vinyl poster that has like
Beautiful.
my name,
Yeah.
QR code.
Bang, bang.
Where
what I
is
stream on.
TwitchCon?
TwitchCon is in San Diego, so there's a European one that they do every
man.
year, and they change it, and then
Oh, yeah?
and then like there's one in they did Las Vegas for the first time last year, but they've always been doing it in San Diego. They brought it back to San Diego. It's gonna be like 3-4
I love
days.
San Diego, bro. One of my favorite cities.
and the people
in the
are
world.
dope in San Diego.
Dope.
Like
It
mad
never
kind.
rains
food,
in
too.
Southern California.
All right.
Okay,
You know
go
what I'm
in.
saying?
Showing us some
That's it,
singing
man.
chops.
Yo, shout out
That's
to
the new album coming.
Southern Cali.
So glow.
So glow.
Congratulations, you guys, on your releases, man. On the
Thank you, man.
the
Thank
official
you.
album and
Thank you,
the
man.
instrumental.
And the instrumentals, yeah,
yo.
we got a couple of instrumentals with us right now too, so that we could do a freestyle segment after. But yeah, man, it's been pretty dope. Trying to follow it up with some more projects, but we're pretty excited about how the album is actually doing, man. You got anything else you wanna like say or promote or anything like that before we get to the freestyle segment?
Nah, I mean, right now, as far as like, I think you asked like where I'm going after
Oh,
this.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I think the biggest thing is like I need to get back into writing way before freestyling because I started freestyling like 3 years ago. Seeing Harry Mack do it, then he gave like a quick like tutorial on like this thing called setup and punchline. And I was like, let me try that shit, and I sat with like a random word generator. And it was like the most fucking stressful feeling, like just trying to keep up with that shit, with a beat going, and I was like, I lasted for like 20 minutes. I was like, fuck this shit. And like 3
Was there a
days later, I
setting
tried it
on
again.
like the difficulty level like on it, or is just
Nah,
one setting?
I would just hit a word and I'd be like, I would get like 2 lines in and then I'd be like, fuck, like, what am I going to do next? And like, so like, I would
But to
take,
answer
like,
your question, you can change the speed in which the words do go, so you could slow
Yeah.
them down and speed them up.
yeah, this one you
fucking-
can just click next. So like, when
Crazy.
you're ready for the
What,
next
an
word.
app does this?
Google,
Yeah,
you can Google word generator,
There's
yeah.
like literally randomwordgenerator.com. You go to that and you can tell it how many words you want it to pop up, and every time you hit
It really is
next,
an
it
audience
just-
for everything, bro. Right? What the
yeah.
fuck?
So it went from doing that shit and like being horrible at it to like getting better and getting better and getting better.
Sharpening the sword, man.
Yeah. But shout out to Harry Mack. Like he kind of
Yeah, shout out.
set up a lot of things that I do with like the crowd participation, but then like there's things that I've come up with. So like sometimes I do POV. So somebody's like POV of your microphone and your microphone's scared of you, like to rap from the point of view of that microphone, right? So like those kind of POVs. But then I came up with a thing called interactive POV where the chat can participate in it. So like it's kind of a mix of stuff. So like one of them is like POV, you have a pet crow that keeps bringing you random shit. What does it bring you? And then chat goes wild, like just putting
With
in
suggestions?
random objects and mentioning like random shit in chat.
That's pretty innovative, bro.
Yeah, and it's a way to get the chat involved with you so that your channel is constantly engaging. Yeah, that's great.
Technology.
And it's real. With all this technology, man, as far as, the shit that impacts still strikes people in a real way, even if it's some dumb shit,
As long as they're a part of it, they feel,
Right.
yeah.
As long as they feel a part of it, bro.
So, what? How many words do you want to do now for this freestyle coming up? You think 6? Keep it at 6, or you want to do 8 because there's 4 of us?
8. Let's do 8. Fuck it.
8?
All right, let's go. 8. We're starting with 8.
All right, yeah. So we each give you 2.
I might have to.
You know what this
Oh,
reminds me a little of?
I'll leave
on,
that
bro.
for the pros.
Why?
Pros.
Hey, I'm just a
just-
podcaster.
Well, you just
I'm
gotta
trying
give
to-
them. You just
I'm
gotta
trying
give
to
them
drag me
words.
into
That's
this.
it.
Wow.
If you want to jump in rhyming, then by all means. But for us, we gotta give him
I need
words.
time
basically.
to write shit,
Yeah,
bro.
yo, there's this
Theme is nice,
shout out to
though.
Ruin
So
Your
is
Day.
Ease.
It's
Thank you.
from KOTD. You ever heard? Like, are you into battle rap at all?
No.
I'll
I mean,
write a freestyle.
I respect it. I respect the hell out of it.
I'll write a freestyle. Sorry.
Mixtape freestyle.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Facts.
go ahead.
nah, but they have this game called bar pong, where it's like they'll come up with a phrase or word or whatever it is, and then everyone just goes around and has to like say a line, just a bar, not like 2, 3, 4 bars. It's just, if you say horse, yo, I was riding them horses, and you'll come in, the Porsches, or
right.
and you'll just keep it going on, and then it just continuously goes. But it's kind of famous, man. You got a lot of the top battle rappers doing that shit. That shit is, it's actually very entertaining.
That's
yeah.
dope. Yeah.
But,
Do you guys want to move
let's
into the
start that.
freestyles next, or wrap it up with the on a music type of segment?
I think let's knock the freestyle out of the
Okay.
way, and then we can move on to the topics
All
for
right,
the
so
for the
you're
show.
you're freestyling.
I'm sitting this one out.
All right.
I'll spit it written, but then y'all go say it's not.
We won't
not
shout,
fair.
y'all. Maybe. No.
But let's keep
Time to
it
put y'all
chill.
on the spot. I'm retired.
In honor of our guest, let's keep it at a freestyle. If you guys want to jump in, by all means. But let him get his exercise out of the way though. So let's give
Facts,
him 8
man.
words. I'm gonna give you the first 2 words. I'm gonna say obstacle and pinnacle.
Obstacle
Wow.
and pinnacle.
damn,
The pinnacle is on that being on the edge or something, right? On the pinnacle of
Yeah.
on the verge,
On the
right?
verge.
We're doing these
there you go, yeah.
acapella.
No, I got beats.
Oh,
that
okay,
I'm
I
about to
got
do.
you.
obstacle and pinnacle. Okay.
What's 2 words? Give him 2 words.
I might
I
have
don't
to
come back to me, bro. I can't think of words right now.
obstacle.
Put me on the spot.
Literally be anything, bro.
Literally speaking words.
Yeah, I know right now.
I can't think of no words, man.
No words.
Go ahead. What you got? Try to do it quick because he needs a rhythm, right, to remember it, right?
Genius and work ethic. That's 2 words?
That's okay. We
okay.
can. So genius,
a
work
phrase?
ethic, obstacle, pinnacle.
All right, what you got?
Genius, work ethic.
Elections and dartboard.
Elections and
That's
dartboard.
elections. Just so
Yeah.
that you get
Elections,
that.
dartboard, genius, work ethic.
I got 2.
Obstacle, pinnacle.
better?
Sorry.
Drive. Work ethic means drive, passion, the drive.
Oh, work. So
So say drive is part of
It's probably
I could do
easier.
work. I could do work ethic.
All right.
So work ethic,
Genius,
genius, election,
elections,
dartboard, obstacle, pinnacle,
There you go.
Beer and chicken.
beer and chicken. Okay.
This guy.
All right.
All right, bet.
So just a quick review for everybody in the back. We got obstacle, pinnacle, beer, chicken, election, dartboard, the work
Einstein.
ethic,
Einstein.
and
Don't give him
genius.
hints. Don't give him hints.
Genius and work ethic.
You guys want to switch mics real quick just so you can perform it?
Yeah.
All right,
Check
you let
one,
me
two,
know.
check one,
I'm
two.
gonna start with the beat low just so I'm not accidentally blowing out eardrums. And then you tell me if you want me to raise it.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
Should be coming up now.
I want to hear shook ones. Come on. That's the perfect freestyle beat, right?
Yeah.
That's
One,
that.
two,
That's
one,
that
two.
B Rabbit shit.
Yeah. Am I coming through clear? Just
Yeah.
listen. Yo, just like beer and chicken, I eat these beats. Yeah, I feel really freaking high with this heat. Yo, I'm starting with this homie, yo, this peep that I meant right now. Yo, with this flow, the technique, you could do this rhyming without no riding. Yo, some fucking beer is arriving and some chicken right here. Yo, we're in Long Island, but technically it is Queens right here. I'm just fucking wildin'. So listen now, let me go up to the right. On the pinnacle of going to a different height. That's how it is when I freaking rip it on the mic. I feel like I'm on the pinnacle of the next kind of strike that I need to be on right right now, it's not impossible. I see these obstacles and I'm like, yo, you gotta fall. Put those motherfuckers deep up in the hospital. Who are they gonna stop? Not me. Call the constables. I'm gonna kill this shit. You know I mean it. If I say it, it's like genius inside of me. They seen it. Scenic routes I'm fucking taking. Yeah, you know I'm fiending to just be the one that's going left and right, careening now. Yeah, the verse is the freshest. The work ethic makes impressions all the time. Yo, I burst with this next shit. I'm bringing right now. My election is to be the best when I'm fucking doing testing to my brain. That's right. I make my bars raw, bullseye when this dartboard attack is what I'm doing, that's facts. I'm sharper like attack when I'm doing this. I'm never back, cause I just never left. You don't remember that. My name is Lefteri, but now I just get to rap. It's towards night, TN. You know trouble, dude, is what I'm bringing to you with the fucking W. Mad love to the people on the spot. Yo, this fucking place that you're rocking at is hot. Yes, it's so cool, you guys chilling right here at Old School New Vibes. Check.
Right on
Mad
cue,
love
right?
and yo, mad respect. Can
Right
we go
on-
really
right-
quick?
right on
Do I
cue.
have enough freaking time to just
Yeah,
go
you
through
got
every
one. Go
word?
ahead.
Really rewind. We got no obstacles. We're on the pinnacles. I'm being fucking legends. Beer and chicken is what we're bringing. It's not alleged. We're really fucking doing it. I'm edging the elections, winning the polls. They seeing my soul is going out like Tetris, dropping bars. That's right, I got these darts, dartboards. Yo, I see the shit is not so hard. Fools try, but I do with that bullseye genius. All of you guys got it. All of those jewels, guys, you have them in your heart. Yeah, expect it. You're going with the spark in the dark with your work ethic. So mad love to everybody. Here we got the 8. Mad love. These kids today, they said he hate when it is great. So I think I should stop. You guys are really amazing on the spot. So thank you for welcoming me to your freaking show. It's Towards Night, in case you didn't know.
Hey,
Yeah.
Hold on, let Theme sing. Theme got the hook. He got the chorus.
Team's up next. Team's up next. Did you get all 8, man? I don't even remember everybody.
No,
else.
he did.
You got all 8?
Yeah,
Twice.
I
He got all
counted.
8 twice.
Yeah, he had to
Nice.
spin the block real quick. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
Came
No,
around.
This
Really
week
quick,
really
because
is
I wanted
heavy,
to ask
bro.
you before,
Yeah.
but I had a
Good
brain
shit,
fart.
bro.
Thank you, sir.
Good shit, bro. Serious.
How did
Thank you.
you
I gotta follow
transition the
Theme.
name?
Everything he does.
Yeah.
Like your name, where did tonight towards
Towards night. Oh, that's a
towards
good
night
question.
come from?
Actually.
Yeah, like because I was about to call you yeah.
Your government. Your government.
Yeah.
I totally forgot that was your government name. I thought that was like
Yeah.
just your
That's your
handle.
stage name, man.
Nah, yeah. So Lefteri is my real name, short for Eleftherios. It means freedom in Greek, which I used against my parents as soon as I realized, like,
Know what it meant,
you
yeah.
name me this, so I can do what the fuck I want.
You related to Zeus?
Yeah, maybe. But
There's a
Towards
lot of
Night-
Greeks out here in Astoria, so you fit right in.
It's the biggest population of Greeks outside of Greece.
You
Is
grew up in
is
Astoria.
shit.
You grew up in Astoria, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So Towards
Fun
Night was a
fact.
rock band name. Like when I was way before I even thought about rapping, it was gonna be like my like 9 Inch Nails type thing where I wrote everything and then I found people to play live with. So the thing was called Towards Night, and then somehow once I started freestyling, I was like, I'm Towards Night. Like that's just
It
gonna be
sounded
my
like a
name.
Batman story right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Like vigilante and shit.
Superhero origin.
Word.
Facts.
Dope.
Nah, man.
You want to throw one more beat on and you guys jump in on this one, or you?
It's up to you guys, bro.
Let's
I'm
do
just
one
chilling
more. We
tonight.
got-
Shout out to Iz. Introduce yourself,
I'm
my
in
brother.
my
Thank you for having me. You know, I appreciate it.
Of course, man. Yo, we've been trying to get guests for a minute. It's
This is
just
our first
coordinating.
official.
We've spoken a lot about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's so
Yeah.
many. It wasn't like this. It just happened to be like this, and I think maybe the timing, but it'll work, man. Eventually. you
Yeah,
know?
I mean, I also haven't been around that long, so it was also more about getting a flow with us before we added a couple more people's in the
and location too. Location.
Yeah, location was big. So
location's
we've
great,
we've
honestly.
kind of settled in here.
Yeah.
We've changed up in a few places, but I like the vibe of this, and I like the way that the episodes go when we up in here. Again, shout out to the high end, man.
Yeah, man.
High in Astoria.
Yeah,
Yeah. So if you want to run that back, put the beat
run
on
that
it
back and maybe do a little cipher if y'all want. You can
You
kick
got
it off.
bars or what?
Kick it off, TN.
Wait,
You know,
with
I'm gonna
those
keep fucking
just
with
with
you.
anything or with those words again?
Now, anything if you want. You want a free form? It's called free form, right? When you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want-
Freeform?
Yeah, free
Old school
form.
vibes, hip hop
A
episode.
few bars each, and then we call it a night.
Do your thing.
Whatever.
Am I starting off? You guys want to
You can start it off.
You
Ready?
started off this.
Yeah.
I'll do my verse to this shit now.
Yo, we got any water
Do
in the
I get
house?
to hear a live performance from
I'll
Dean?
check.
You
Check,
got this
1, 2.
verse. Spit
I'm
that
gonna start cursing out the audience.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yo, respect,
Yeah.
respect, bro.
Respect right here, you know. We're chilling on the scene. I got, he's the engineer. We got Arkham, we got Theme. Yeah, we're rocking like we haven't forgotten the dream. We got ill, it's real right here. That's what you're seeing on this podcast. Give me a beat and I can rock that. Shit, I'm fucking putting your hands up like, do you got cash? Yo, it's not a robbery, just taking this properly. Like this rhymes that I'm just bringing when I just come to drop a free. It's for everybody. Thank you for welcoming me to the spot. Yo, I should pass it to the left. You know, like 2 hits and then pot.
2-hit Tony, but I take it off the mic. It's always solely off the dome when we cup ripping. Every mic is never stolen. Always real from the gut, the gutter. We come from Abs of Sutter, from ENY to Queens, all over ENY. We fly, always fly and dapper. That's Brooklyn rappers, but it's always clappers if things get after hours. Nasty when I freestyle, I'm kinda crafty. Glad you passed me this mic so I can hand these words of advice. Don't think twice, go with your gut. Every motherfucking day is only one you could trust, and it's the G-O-D within, no more, no less. It ain't religious, it's just spirit, and these gimmicks could test. Every path, every step you take, know what you got left at the end of the day. Believe in self and you will let yourself free. Ark, you got some balls for this chemistry.
I'm a
You gonna bow out of this one, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
a bystander here. I was just
Yo, his need to
appreciating
go
that.
on Twitch, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah, for sure.
Where that
Yeah,
came
yeah,
from?
I like that, man.
Yo, respect, respect.
This guy try to play me.
You be
where this came
hiding it,
from.
bro. You be hiding it. I swear.
Nah, man.
shit's fire.
It's just, it's
You always
evolving.
freestyling.
Nah, yeah,
He's
yeah,
always
yeah, it's
freestyling.
always
Right,
freestyling.
right. I was telling him earlier, right? There was a time that I wouldn't even write.
you
bro.
just always freestyle. Yeah.
And
You
then
know,
I
is that we're
decided
from that
more
era
right.
where freestyling or ciphers was part of just the culture? You know what I mean?
that your
Like,
verse?
Yeah.
and it's
That's the
like
spoken
now
part.
Yeah, yeah.
you don't see that anymore.
Spoken
bro.
word.
Oh my gosh.
It's like you rarely see that, especially in I guess I don't want to say new school, but you rarely
It
see
ain't
that
even
because
new.
it's not about like craft anymore. It's more about like a vibe or a particular style. So when you're freestyling that, it doesn't come off like right here. We're what we're looking for is not really that trendy.
Yeah,
You know
you know what? I agree to. So there's like two worlds right
there's
now, bro.
pockets, yeah.
You got the culture and you got the counterculture. And
Yeah.
the truth is, there's a lot of people that aren't saying things of how they really are because they know the climate and the culture, right? But the counterculture is like bigger than the culture. We just
Yeah,
nobody's
absolutely.
counting it.
We
by
are
the-
part of that
You know what I mean? The fake media gets
counterculture.
counted, right?
So
So
we
people,
see it.
yo,
but,
honestly,
like,
young heads attract to anything fire, bro. If it's fire to them, they'll fuck with it, bro.
But this is something that takes work to be good at. And I also feel like there's a lot of cutting corners now. And
right.
it's a lot easier to make
Yeah,
what is
freestyle
considered
became like a
popular
16
music
ball version
than to
roll.
practice freestyling because it takes
Are
practice.
these young cats freestyling drill fucking raps?
I mean,
is
I
that
could-
such a
I could
thing?
tell you,
apparently
but-
now everybody, nobody writes now. Apparently,
Yeah.
and you know the fucked up. It shows because this shit is
Yeah,
trash.
yeah,
That's
bro.
what I'm
yeah.
saying.
A lot
It's
of
like
it.
it's more
Like, ain't
about
no
vibes in the
fucking-
moment. But
They're just mumbling shit.
Nah,
This
I mean,
is the
I
thing.
appreciate some mumble shit. There's always some bars, but if it ain't bars, I don't care for it.
know, But I'll
say
it
the
don't matter what kind of
producers,
music.
bro,
it
I
is.
the
can't
producers
understand
are
what they're
stars.
saying. I can't fuck with it.
what's
ahead.
that? What's that? The drill rap, Fabio, right? No,
Fivio Foreign.
Son is nice, bro. He got bars, right? So you got your drill, quote unquote, drill rappers that do have substance, but I think right now the internet made it so huge that there's so much diversity in like hip hop because there's cliques
Hip
that I
hop
know
needs
these
genres.
kids.
I was watching some
Yeah,
video
yeah.
earlier.
I saw
like-
the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and we've been talking about that
I
anyway.
think it was
for-
Ninth Wonder or somebody that was saying that.
That's
yeah.
where the cultures got separated, bro. At one time, all hip hop. That was
Was-
all
yeah,
hip hop.
yeah.
Conscious. You had a party song, like it never had to be divided. But you know,
But it does now. It does now.
well, yes, it does. But really, it's up to us to implement it, man.
Was that clip you're talking about? Were they also discussing like the different genres, right? Like there's soft rock, there's hard rock, right?
Probably something. And I've seen a couple of like,
how
Which
can
makes
they
sense,
have-
though. That makes sense.
of
like,
course.
totally.
He meant, I forgot who it was, bro, so we could give him that credit, but he did mention like
find
how
it, right?
can
We can
I
find
think it
it.
was Ninth
somebody-
Wonder. Are we all
Was
talking
it?
about the same
It
clip?
was
I
it Ninth
believe it was
Wonder?
Ninth
It was
Wonder,
on a
maybe.
podcast, and
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
like, "Yo, how can a new artist right now release a song and be in the same like charts with like someone like Nas?"
Right,
You know what
right.
I mean?
Yeah,
Like
it doesn't make sense, yeah.
Absolutely no sense. So,
Yeah.
you know, things like that. That's definitely something. But
Yeah.
you're slowly seeing this, man. A lot of these artists are pushing back, man. Like, and I think right now what Kendrick is doing right now, like how he's like ultimate anti-culture right now. And then I think we all have heard Kendrick's new song came out September 11th, and more than
Yeah, he dropped
whether
that
I
shit
think
on
it was
purpose.
fire
Yeah,
or not,
September
I
11th.
think it's what it's saying and what he's setting up, like, because he's making an imprint right now. You know, you got these artists, these grade A artists that come out and they'll set a trend, and this is the wave for the next like quarter or whatever. He's keeping it consistent with like substance, right? So he dropped that, right? And everyone's trying to figure it out whether or not he diss Drake or not. I mean, I heard it a few times. I think there's a few subs
I
in
only
there.
heard it once.
If
I can't
anything,
I think it's
didn't
gonna
really
forever
dissect
be
it.
that way. I think any bar that he throws that's meant
People gonna
to
fucking
attack, it's
analyze
gonna
it, right?
attack him because whether you like it or not, he beat him. Also, he announced that he had the Super Bowl performance too, so
Right.
he
There's no
stays in
round
the
two.
news. Yeah,
Yo, look at the slow death he's given. That's some real like
Yeah.
48 laws of power.
Drake is still gonna act like he's
Real-
unfazed.
He's
gonna act like
abolishing
and in
that.
a way,
He has
he
to.
kind of
It'd
is.
be
though.
ill if he brought him out just to squash the
Can
beef
you imagine?
on a
Look,
Super
look,
Bowl level.
I could see
destroyed
that
him.
though. I could see that.
Some
Think
brothers
So
and
the
shit.
majority of 2024
We need
belonged
that
to
shit,
him,
bro.
right?
Yeah, for
And
sure.
then now
I don't
he's
think that's
stalling
happening.
I
off
called it if it happened.
2025.
Yeah, we got it on tape.
What are the Vegas odds on that?
And then he got that song "Big as the Super Bowl," and then what? Next thing you know,
Yeah.
J. Cole gets on there, and Kendrick. Imagine, oh, that would be
I
amazing.
could see him bringing him out. I could see him continue to just crush him and perform that song on the
I mean,
stage.
but he's
Is he
crushing
gonna-
to like a.
Bring him out to not like us.
All of the fans, all of America saying they not like us. Bro.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Seriously.
that's like isn't that like the biggest team up diss track that has happened? Like that so many people got behind. Like people who didn't even know about that shit. Like,
I mean, Nas and
it
Jay Z
transcended
maybe to a
genres.
lesser level.
Well, they're
just because
saying
there's so
that
many more
Jay-Z
people now. You know?
yeah.
kind of is responsible for this too, right? Because the Super Bowl is going to be
Committee,
it's going to be in
New Orleans, and he
New
caught
Orleans.
flag for that. Yeah,
And he's like, how are
But
they
you
not
know
going to
this
have?
dude, he's gonna bring out Lil Wayne. He got to
Yeah, but
bring
this
out
is the
Lil
thing,
Wayne.
right? They're like, how can Lil Wayne be this? You know, not the headliner. He's just going to be like he.
but then that would be a legacy
Yeah,
gift,
but
sort of. It's not
It
like
depends how
he's
who they are, really.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
making this up because I'm like whatever. But you
Yeah,
know,
but
they,
if they
need
really
something.
cool,
This is
like,
what the
you know?
narrative is right now. That
the
Jay-Z
narrative, bro.
fucking is hating
Make
on
your own
is
narrative.
hating on
I
Lil
saw that,
Wayne,
yeah.
and well, he's really hating on Drake supposedly because he knows that if he
Well,
puts
Lil
Lil
Wayne,
Wayne
yeah,
up
yeah.
there,
He's
Drake's
gonna
gonna
bring
bring
him on.
Drake out.
Yeah.
and he already didn't want 50 up at one point, and 50 came out because of who he assigned.
Yeah.
Like I can see both arguments. They let Dre perform, and Dre wasn't the artist of the year when he was picked, but it was in California, and they did it, and you understood it. So they kind of want a repeat of that with Lil Wayne. But honestly, I think that what Kendrick is doing right now, it's not unfair for him to be given the
He's the
stage.
hottest hip hop artist right now.
Yeah, the
Exactly.
biggest
Kendrick-
record of the year.
Yeah.
Does Kendrick bring out Taylor Swift and do for the Swifties, yo?
And Kanye.
And yeah, maybe he brings
Right
out
after.
everybody. I don't know.
Nah, but
Yo,
congrats to him,
Swifties
bro.
for come
That's
out.
the narrative
sure.
right now that Jay is hating, and you know,
I mean,
they're
I
just
don't know what
speculating.
it
They're
is
always looking
hating.
for what's the topic and stuff.
Yeah,
but
fuck all
the
that,
song
bro.
was cool. Did y'all
Things
get to hear
have
it? Did
karma
y'all
and
get to hear that
balance,
song?
you know?
I only heard the clips that are on social. I haven't actually heard
Say
the whole song.
what clips
Yeah.
or what?
Kendrick
the Kendrick
song,
song. He did.
I
He
heard
did
it.
It
Put it on
wasn't
the
fully
platform.
released.
He just
I
put
just
it
heard it
on
on Instagram.
That's where it's only released at.
Yeah.
Not even an official title. Like they either
Right. What's the title of
Party.
it? I didn't even see a
they're
title.
kind of labeling it when the party dies, right? And that's what he kind of speaking to. Like the Drake era is gone, right? is the party's dying out. Now it's like time to bring it.
There's a
So
lot of
I
subs in there. There's
appreciate
definitely a lot of subs.
Strategic,
in
very
yeah.
strategic.
what it means, because it speaks to what we all do, bro. We all are artists that have substance and are looking for more than just that.
Well, the music goes in cycles too, bro. It's like a time right now where it like things. I really believe things are becoming like more heartfelt. It's gonna come around, bro. Music comes
he's
around.
right. He's definitely right.
And it happened with like DMX when he came. He was like super gutter, like and because the game was too
Shiny suited,
shiny suit, and it's just everything's called. I'm not big for the beef shit, especially two fucking multi-millionaires.
Yeah. You
But
are on that.
I am glad that at least it has put some emphasis on, and because Drake, look, whether he writes his shit or there's a million, the
you can
music's
bring up
good,
everything,
but Kendrick's more like roots culture hip hop.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? Who happens to make a couple of commercial tracks?
records.
You know what I
Right,
mean? But I think as far as that being the emphasis of it, it puts more attention. And little by little, the number, look, the street shit is always going to be, right? And it always evolves. And right now it's drill. But there will come, bro. It's crazy. From all the hardcore shit came like this hippie era of hip hop. Like shit just happens, bro.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Because honestly,
Shit
so
just
many
happens,
legends have released this year. 10 years ago, you wouldn't have got this many albums from this many legacy artists. LL just dropped the album, and
He just did a video with Eminem, right?
Yeah, and not to say, hey, we all went and we're all bumping it in our cars, and all, but it's a different time. That doesn't signify that it's getting played just because we may not all be bumping it in our cars at the same time.
No.
There's a demand for it that there wasn't 10 years ago.
Bro, they got millions of followers on
Yeah.
Spotify.
and they can promote it themselves. And
Right.
it's
And I would
Direct to consumer.
Right.
You got
Well,
direct to consumer.
Yeah.
well, it's still streamed, but yes, you can promote direct to the consumer.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, but like what you just said with Kendrick's song, right? Genius, right? Because he puts it on a platform, he gets 0.0008.
Right.
Instagram, he probably makes more money from the people that
Absolutely.
listen to it.
Absolutely.
Just from his.
And when he drops
Bro,
on YouTube,
right?
the money you get from
And you don't
That's
even
what
have
we're
to
heading
drop
to,
it
man. There's
on
gonna
a
be
fucking platform. He already made more money in this little release. I bet it's probably got 10 million, maybe more, right?
And then they still
see, I'll
drop
tell you
it.
right
More
now.
than fucking than
Yo,
he would have made if he
we
dropped
dive
it on
into this little
Spotify.
conspiracy bag, because you know me, I
it's
love these
monetized.
rabbit holes, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's monetized.
It's almost like and this is why I believe that so many artists are standing behind Kendrick, because I don't know if you guys heard that quote where they said if Drake wasn't signed, the music industry would just crumble right now.
Because he makes the
because
major
he
label
is-
so much money.
And
yeah.
that's why he was almost probably forced to sign that deal with Lucian, right? With for 400 million or whatever, and he signed to them for pretty much forever. It's crazy. You heard that contract is like forever type shit. It's like some real crazy, scary shit, right?
in perpetuity.
So if Kendrick comes and really fucking puts the heel to his throat,
It's
and
almost like he topples the
heals
industry
them.
a
It's
little
got
bit.
2.7
Now we
million.
get this digital revolution, bro, that the artists need, bro, because we can't be these artists. We can't be getting fucking 8 cents, bro.
For
off of
real.
five.
Yeah,
So
I'm
it's
hoping
gonna-
that
eventually
changes
it's
too.
coming, bro.
I'm hoping that
Eventually
changes
Back
too.
in the
'cause you're
days,
right.
at least we'll be on the fucking corner selling
where's
our
my
shit,
phone?
and you at least getting
Bro.
$5
And I
for
don't-
your shit,
and-
bro.
and
That
just-
shit got 36 million fucking plays, bro.
Yeah.
Bro,
I
One day,
ridiculous.
son. Not even full 24 hours, bro.
Crazy. That's
So
fucking bananas.
that shows you the kind of man. So this is what's gonna break the bank, bro, and it was gonna help all of us to
Well,
eat.
there's
more,
a lot
bro.
of cuts already happening in labels and people losing jobs and all that. And it's not
Facts recently, right? Yeah,
like,
I
and
just
it's
heard.
not like they're going bankrupt. They're just cutting expenses as much as they can because they see the money dwindling down. And I mean, maybe that leads to a complete overhaul where you're right. There's hardly any money in it for the artist, which is why you're kind of almost forced to go independent, because how could you split it with anybody? I mean, you just it's not feasible. But just to point something, you said like 8 cents. We're talking about
nine,
0.00008.
right? That's what I
like
meant in my head.
it's such a minuscule number.
It's not even a
that
cent,
it's
bro.
not a sustainable business model unless you working your ass off, performing, merchandise,
yeah.
The
all
multimedia, the merchandise, the culture,
I'm
the
trying to
living,
read it right now.
Song
lifestyle.
placement,
How much you
getting
get?
songs
I mean,
placed and stuff.
even a
Yes.
cent a play would make a huge difference.
That's
to
Not even a
somebody's
penny. It's
bottom
not even a
line.
penny. It's a
Yeah.
It's the
fraction.
equivalent of Dogecoin
Yeah,
reaching
it's
a penny.
insane.
You know? And so,
And now we
I
don't
look
get
at-
paid out until you hit 1,000, and that's within a 12-month period. Not even 1,000 lifetime, 1,000 within a 12-month period.
it
Just
says
to get a
here-
payout, it's
Yeah.
it's
It
tough.
doesn't say there's a specific amount, but you get paid after every 1,000 views. This shit got what
Yeah,
was
36 million
36
just now.
million.
Yeah.
Do the math, nigga.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. It's-
Another thing with that
That's
is that
I didn't peep
we
it.
are
I
in a
didn't-
time right now where the shift where if the favor go to the artist, people are willing to spend $2. They fucking got OnlyFans
But they're
pages.
more educated now. They
they're
know
used to
that
like
it makes an
I feel
impact.
like our era, the transition of that, we were a little bit more sus about buying shit online. Like, nah, bro, I ain't fucking putting my credit card shit,
Well,
that
yeah, it's a
information on
different
it.
world
But
now.
these kids now, everything is like they'll spend. It's nothing. Like
The funny part is there's always a data breach. Every other day you get a fucking email
Everybody's
about a
data is
day,
breached
and yet
already,
everybody
bro.
still is like it's just it doesn't matter. It's
So
change your password and you move on.
I think, man, good things are coming, and I think this musical revolution
Digital
is
era.
gonna be in our favor. Till then, just keep creating, and just taking all these pointers, man, from a lot of these great role models. Because I whether you like Kendrick's music or not, again, what he's doing is bigger than what it really sounds. Because you got a lot of dudes that heard this song right now. From the feedback I'm hearing, it's like, it's a little boring. It's
But you're gonna check it out at
But-
least.
and again, I'm not biased whether I like it or not. I just think the movement he's making, man, is so important and it needs to be supported.
Just to
Oh, yeah.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
Just to touch on the financial part of it, as far as like making music right now, like not that I have a bunch of stuff out and I had stuff that I had out and I pulled back, but like in a day, there's like days that I can make more on Twitch than I've made like in the whole total of like Spotify, Apple
streaming
Music,
period,
like all
right?
that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like that's what's crazy is that there's people that'll go in there and like they'll either do like what's called like subs, like where they subscribe to the channel, which costs like $5.
And you get
that means like they don't
exclusive
see
content, right?
They don't see like ads when the ads come up, right?
Yeah.
And they get access to like different emotes,
okay.
Or they can give sub to people, so they can give like 5 gift subs, which is like $25, and that shit people will do that shit and it'll add up, and you'll have like people who are making a living from just
Which
like,
is more of a direct to consumer
direct
approach.
to consumer,
then, right?
and it's
you're
like, and the dope thing is like you're doing some shit where you're having your own connection with your fans and no fucking middleman at all. Like just because Twitch is where you
That's where it's at. That's where it's at, bro.
And that's the inevitable. And what these companies, the reason they have all this other structure, the culture, is because they're hanging on for dear life. Because eventually, like, I'll give you a great example. The percentage of Americans that watches like the nightly news, like, so we consume our news differently. You find that you can get it anytime during the day, right? You don't have to sit at home and wait for the 6:30.
Right, yeah.
Fucking, and so that like traditional means of media
Outdated.
has changed.
Outdated, yeah.
So eventually there's going to be everyone doing their own show. And it really, really is going to come to work after your drive and making it happen. You know what I mean? Because everyone has one.
And the proof is that
everyone's independent.
There's legacy artists on Twitch, whether it's DJs, whether it's producers,
Right.
like Timbaland, all that, and it's so crazy because like when we were growing up, you think of artists as they have like this mystique right about them, and then slowly over the years that started to go away, and now the game, due to whether it's technology or whatever, it's evolved to a point where it's like they almost got to come down to our level. They got to do the things that we would do in order to be. They can't not do it for fear of being left behind. You know what I mean? So
I think
The current's been pulled on the industry in general.
I think a lot of artists
life.
they're clinging on to major record labels for that upfront money. You know what I mean? You get that signing
big advance.
upfront
Yeah,
money.
but that's less and less. And also, it's just, bro, the industry's not making money, bro. They're only making money on legacy music, honestly.
Yeah.
Even
And
the drill
biggest
shit, all this
artists,
shit
the
is
biggest
not.
artists do make
And now
profit.
with this
And that's why
AI
you've seen
shit,
them coming.
with this AI shit, is gonna get even worse for artists.
for real.
For artists, for all kind of artists, fucking music and actors.
graphics,
Even in like
video.
licensing songs for like documentaries,
Yeah,
now they
man.
could find shit on there. But I always believe, bro, like special music will always find a way to.
Yeah, there's a soul that I don't think it can
I've
replace.
never heard an
Yeah.
AI thing. Right.
It is
It's
scary
just-
though, man.
It is.
Like somebody showed me like one of the sites, and I fucked with it just like a little bit, and the stuff you can do with it is.
But it's still your
bananas.
mind putting in the prompts though. That's what
you
people
tell
can't.
it, give me a song about fucking bananas
Fish
and
fillet.
whatever, right? And give it
Fillet
to me
of
in this
fish.
style, right? And it'll do
Beer
a
and
whole
chicken.
shit with like drums, bass, guitar, keyboards, fucking choruses,
Yeah,
like all the
I
shit.
heard
And
that.
you like change this, and it'll like adjust something. It's like
It's all about the
nuts.
prompts. Yeah. I fuck around with Midjourney for artwork and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and you just
I
put
like
in a bunch of
Midjourney.
That's
put in a
nuts.
bunch of
Yeah.
prompts, and you get some crazy. They're always updating that shit too.
Yeah.
That's why I did a lot of the GPS book stuff
Yeah.
on there.
But yeah, man. So what projects you working on right now is?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff, you know, but right now I'm just, I want to keep evolving on the business side, and sometimes to do that you have to kind of like shut down for a little while and kind of come back in a, you know what I mean? So music's always there, bro. I mean, we sitting on like so much music, but
You got the
I just
younger
wanna be a
talent coming
genius.
through now too. With,
Shout out
with,
to Zoe G.
Right.
My bro Caviar, who's in the art and the music world. I'm just, bro, God places me always in the energy of like, so like right now in New York, the biggest vibe like for the cool kids is like the art gallery. It's like art gallery,
The trendy
wine
shit.
and beer shit there.
Right,
and then
right.
you go to a bar that possibly has a DJ, you know, the Brooklyn kind of, and that's
Hipster
it.
shit.
A lot of energy though, you know, that's the creative. But
The
right now,
Williamsburg.
just really, you know, preparing
and that's
for a
the-
bigger and better release of new music.
It's
Nice.
like, and that's the great thing about him being my brother, because in our
brothers?
like dynamic, yeah, for a little while,
We are.
you need both, bro. You need both functioning at 100% capacity, business and creativity.
Right. Yeah.
At the same time, bro, because
It's exhausting,
they
brother.
feed off of each other, right?
Yeah.
And it's hard, bro. And then when you throw in family in there and
Yeah,
throw
man.
in, other, whatever streams of income however you get in it, that, balance, it gets really
man.
juggling all of that shit and producing good work, right? So sometimes it's not that you sacrifice. I never really like using that word, because it's just a choice. This is the choice you're making. If you look at it from a sacrificial point, it's almost like a sense of like there's a lack of faith, because you feel that the only way to make this happen is for this. It's when it's much bigger than that. So it's more just a choice, but it's tough. So whereas right now he's focusing like on business, right, and stepping back. I'm over here. I look at Ease, and it's like, damn, I see Ease is fucking doing all of this shit, and I'm like, I look at some of the stuff I have, and I'm like, damn, man, I need to throw more videos out, but it's more than just words. It's okay,
Action.
Actually, yeah.
It's a team, and it really boils down to a team, man.
Yeah,
You
and
need-
the team is the big thing. If you can find a way to delegate and get people involved but enjoy themselves while being involved. It's hard to have product and be productive if you kind of like twisting somebody's arm, like to tell,
Yeah.
like. Of course,
It's not a good flow, good
compensation is involved, but also like I always ask anybody I work with, what do you think? Did you have fun doing it? Like, I mean, I don't know, man. I have experience working on shit that I don't like working on, and I just don't want to put anybody else through that. I feel like the best work comes forward if they like the song that they're hearing 1,000 times while they edit my video, and so on and so forth. So I think if you can do that and put out quality stuff and get people to be involved, you can increase your output easily. But you do got to delegate. It's very hard to do everything and do it efficiently. Yeah. It's that's
That's
tough
where
thing.
the sacrifice comes in, because you put in
The
too much
choice.
time into one
Choice
thing.
comes in sacrifice.
Yeah, choice or sacrifice. But I don't think it's a negative term, because
It doesn't have to be.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be. Yeah, as Iz the engineer, I'm not even doing a lot of engineering, which I find hilarious. Like just like as an inside joke with myself.
Is it gonna morph into something?
Well, I don't
Yo,
know.
just
Maybe,
keep it
maybe I'm
Iz.
just
Just
Iz.
Iz.
Yeah, because honestly, and shout out to Luminary. I know I shout him out every episode, but having him be able to do quality work and have me be able to step back from that allows me to do videos, allows me to be more involved in this podcast, allows me to be able to market it and actually do advertising where I probably wouldn't even been able to look into it and study it and get good at it if I'm just trying to mix music like day in and day out. Like,
and oh my
yeah,
god, bro!
It's
And
it's
research
not
I can't
easy.
even
what's the new
imagine if I
trends.
had to mix my own shit right now.
Yeah,
like
it's-
on top of everything else I'm doing, it'll never
And there's
happen.
people that do it and do it well, and shout out
everything.
to them. Like I just, it's
Yeah.
I feel like I've been more productive in the last year and a half than I've been in a whole decade prior to that, and part of that is knowing what I should be doing and knowing what I'm not even going to get involved in that step and try to step back and let somebody else take care of it and let me do what I can do best at this moment. I've written way more than I've ever wrote before because, I'm spending 2 weeks on a video or I'm doing this and that. So I've got like 4 songs written that I haven't even recorded, but it gives me the chance to practice it and not have to record it right away, because if I don't and I move on to something else, I might never come back to it. So all that has made me more productive, but I only say that to say, and maybe something to think about.
Yeah,
I've been using ChatGPT, and that shit is helpful. Never for lyrics or anything like that, but like if you use it for the right stuff, like there's so much like mundane stuff that takes up time.
I'm just gonna
But,
get the link, the chat GPT link in my head.
In your head.
That's it, son.
But like stuff that just like I have no interest in, like even writing posts where it's just like I don't like feel like I'm not a salesman. You know what I mean? Like I have the content, I'll post that shit, but like writing the caption or whatever, little things like that are just like mundane tasks. Like knowing the right prompts and like
I know.
getting that shit done. It's like
I got this, I do this daily, I guess, affirmation, right?
Yeah.
And just thinking about that and making it different every single day.
yeah.
That shit is a task within itself.
Right.
And it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
exhausting, and then keeping a record of, and I also like putting music out with it, and I try not to like put the same song out.
Right.
Yeah. I'm like fucking 400 songs in now, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck, So yeah.
ChatGPT, bro.
Yeah,
ChatGPT.
Word. I think I'm gonna use it for songs, right? Yeah. I like
And
that.
like-
Random
and
song
like-
generator.
And like all technology comes with good and comes with bad. Like that's the
It's like
shit.
with everything.
Yeah. You
I
know,
mean,
like,
when you look
It's
back,
important though to fucking right now, man. It's been since lockdown and COVID. There's a concerted effort against art, and it's because
being
art
that-
is rebellious. Whether it's music, but it's more important than ever to keep it alive, bro.
Yeah,
Because
straight
that's gonna be without that, people don't think. Music and art, and these have been ways for the unspoken to speak for like ever.
Without
You know what
art,
I mean?
people would have went crazy during lockdown. What did they turn to? They turned to music. They turned to movies.
Everybody
to shows.
became a DJ.
Everybody
and
was
they're trying their
everybody
fucking
was
jammies.
binge watching everything they've
Zoom.
ever
This is the
missed.
birth of really the Zoom generation, bro. But
course.
you mentioned like the pandemic, and not to like get into that, but
But
just
get into it.
yesterday being 9/11, and just that was probably the first pandemic, and I don't mean that to disrespect anyone, but just when you look back and you see all the loopholes that they left, that in the moment you couldn't see, and I'm speaking more towards like Building 7 just collapsing, right? Like I just recently saw something. I was like, what the fuck? This shit really just
But
got.
you know what it is, though?
This building literally just dropped free fall speed, like, and nobody is saying absolutely nothing, bro. It's the craziest shit, bro. And like where we at now, that was kind of like the turn of the tide of we got into just losing a lot of these rights, man.
But here's the thing, bro. We never really had that many rights in this country, bro. If you're not at the end of the day, you already know, like if you're a conscious being and you're out for a positive goal, just stick to that. When we fall, and I've done it, we've all done it. We've all had the 18-hour, fucking spend on all these rabbit holes. But the truth is, bro,
He's got more than 18 hours.
I already
Way
know
more.
I already know who the enemy of positive progress is.
It's yourself.
I don't have to first of all, it is
Sometimes.
yourself, number
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
But that is actually adding to the point. When we pay too much attention to that stuff. We already know what that is. We already know.
Yeah.
We pay too much attention to fucking, obviously, maybe not us, but the
you know, it's
media
crazy
and
that
all
yesterday, right? So my son, we're coming home and he's like, Dad, today's 9/11. They didn't even say nothing in class about it. And I'm like, really? No mention of it? He's like, no one. I'm like, wow. I don't know if that's the case for every other kid,
For
that
these kids, it's like it's history. Like,
Yeah,
This is
maybe there's a lesson like
so long ago.
You know,
I don't know if they're just not trying to keep it.
It's gotta be. It gotta be U.S. history.
Isn't it
though.
weird
Like,
that they
I
didn't
would
mention
think-
it in his class at all? He's like,
Yeah.
no.
Well,
none of
I
it.
mean, I'm okay. Look, there's two sides to it, right? Like, eventually to heal, you can't
Gotta put it
bring
behind
it
you.
up.
I mean, but
You gotta put
we're
it behind
we're
you,
studying fucking World War One, two,
Right, but
three.
we're not
again,
celebrating
he's
every-
not though. So on just that given day, I could possibly see it not being brought up. But I gotta think that there is a
There gotta be
history
some
lesson in it in a high school
memorial
curriculum.
acknowledgement, bro,
Right,
for that.
right.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
shout out
'cause-
to the first responders, man. Like,
Yeah, straight up.
for sure.
everybody that passed away during that.
Shout out to y'all. Y'all look like Lord of the Rings.
We lived
when I
through
seen
that
you
shit.
after
We
that.
lived through that shit, man.
Yo,
that was a crazy
bonded
fucking day.
me and Team got bonded by blood on that run, bro. It was crazy.
Yo, that shit was
Trials by
that
fire.
shit was literally Lord of the Rings, bro.
Son, it
we
was-
walked from Wall Street from all the way downtown, right by where the bull is,
Yeah. Yeah, like we worked across
the
it, like, up
FDR.
the block from
Oh, wow.
from
up the FDR. People were coming out giving people water.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But prior to that, yo, when
we
when
met
it
up with you
dropped,
in Midtown.
do you remember the war? Like just mad powder.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Bro,
No,
we had
when y'all came, when y'all met me at Sony, which at that time was on Madison and 55th.
yeah, yo.
And
then we
guys,
walked
they had
towards
all
the
these
59th Street
ashes.
Bridge.
Remember,
It
you
was
had all
crazy.
these ashes. Yo, they really looked like it was crazy, bro. Seriously.
Yeah.
Y'all had a bunch of
Everything changed that day, bro.
crazy. And then we met up with Ozzy. Remember?
I don't remember that.
And we walked over the 59th Street Bridge.
Yo.
You don't remember that?
Yes.
No.
Because you got off from.
Yeah, bro.
I know we
over-
walked the bridge together, and then
Yeah,
I
with
forgot.
Ozzy.
I think
Ozzy was with us.
I don't remember.
That was such a traumatic freaking.
It was, bro.
I
It
went to
was,
Night Iz da
it was
Realest.
super
you were in the
traumatic.
city that
I
day?
was in Midtown. I was in
Wow.
it was in orientation for TCI, and like
Oh,
a bunch
shit,
of speakers.
TCI.
A bunch of speakers. Was it TCI? No, not TCI. No, not sorry.
Say.
No, there was another one. This fucking like web design one. I forget the T
in
something.
59th Street.
Yeah.
TW.
So like there were speakers that were supposed to be there. They're like, yo, this person's running late. This person's running late. Nobody knew what the fuck was going on. And then finally, like, they finished the shit and like we got out and we just saw people like on lines for like phone booths and shit like that.
Yeah,
And
it's crazy.
walked over the 59th Street Bridge.
Shit got real when the second building dropped. When the first building
Yeah,
dropped,
we still didn't know how to react. I was in the 10th
second
grade.
one dropped, bro. We were already outside, and you could see the debris and the dust turning
Wow.
the corner down the block, and just like smothering everybody.
Crazy.
I was in the 10th grade and they announced when the first one hit, and it was, I'm not gonna say casual, obviously, but it was like, oh, this happened. Like, oh, a plane just hit the World Trade. But then, of course, there's a few students checking, like trying to call people or whatever. But there was no word of any kind of malicious intent at that point. It was just
Right.
like, that's crazy that this happened. So
Right.
we're all like, how was it flying so low?
was a
All
mistake.
that. It felt like 5 seconds. Obviously, it was probably like 20, 30 minutes. It felt like real quick. We learned of the second one, and then it was just hysteria. I was in Fort Hamilton High School. It was just like
Crazy.
the hallways was crazy. Like we didn't even go to class. Everybody just went to the cafeteria and was either kind of waiting to get like picked up because for a while they weren't letting nobody out. Or once they started letting people out, it was just people were booking it. But I lived in Staten Island, so I didn't even have any place to fucking go. So I was just chilling in the school. I'm like, well, they for the most part, there was people staying.
What part of the city was that?
It was Bay Ridge. It was in Brooklyn.
Okay,
So
okay.
I was staying in there, and then I see my sister walking the halls, and like at first I was like, "That's not her." And I was like, "Wait a minute, it is her." So then I was like, "What are you doing here?" I guess being in there. It was not like we had access to TVs all over like that. So being like you knew what happened, but like it still seemed like just a normal school day at that point because I was still in school. It wasn't until we started driving home and then there was just traffic everywhere and trying to get across the Verrazano before they closed it and all that. That's when like in my mind like it switched and turned into like this is like a historic thing that we're living through right now. And then I was stuck on Staten Island for 3 days after that. You couldn't even get out like that. It was like emergency only or whatever, and like everything else was locked down. If you were at the toll booth, because it was still toll booths, if you were there and you had no purpose for crossing over, they turned you right back around. That was for like 3 days, and then after that, I think we went back to school the week after.
And that stench stayed for a while, for months afterwards. That nasty smell of burnt debris and fucking all that shit, man. But anyway, rest in peace to everybody that passed on that day, man. It's a fucked up day. I know we got peoples that got family that passed away.
Yep. Yeah.
Still very sorry for your loss. Our condolences and. Very strong to even be able to
just
get through
sharing that story. We have a friend, Tweety. Shout out to Tweety, her cousin Angie. When I heard that story is like a crazy story.
She posts her every year.
So her cousin worked in the restaurant up on top, the Windows of the World, right?
Yeah.
And with her fiance, bro. And I think I'm gonna butcher the story, but she pretty much called the mom to say, her farewells. And can you imagine you speaking to your
I can't. I've seen a few of them.
Bro.
I've seen a few of them.
She's pretty much saying goodbye to her mom, Insane,
surreal.
Bro.
It's sad, man.
That's next levels.
And that was 23 years ago, and it's like still fresh in your head. You know what I mean?
That's what made it real a little to me. Because, sometimes when things happen like a little outside your circumference of living, it almost like just... you acknowledge it and it's there, but it doesn't really really affect you. And then when I saw it, I was like, oh shit,
this affects everybody. It affects everybody.
Yeah. It was crazy.
And then bunch of wars after.
Yeah.
Fucking Patriot Act. Here we are now.
Bro, the shit that was crazy is when they found their passports.
No,
the next day.
No, the craziest shit, is the trillions of dollars that went missing from the Pentagon like the day before.
Yeah.
That is the craziest shit. Okay. Then Building 7
was on C-SPAN the day before, and they're like, "Oh, we're looking into it."
They were like, "Oh, I don't know where'd the money go. I don't know." The fucking then the next day the fucking Pentagon gets.
It's crazy how just society doesn't do, and I don't know what the actual
because
answer
you get
should
called
be.
a crazy conspiracy
But
theorist.
it's like, do we just hear this and that's it? Is there action that needs to be called?
Bro, the action.
They investigated themselves and found themselves innocent.
Positive mentors and living a positive, loving life. Really, it sounds boring to some. Everybody think, bro, a gun is not the only weapon, man. The weapon is really getting involvement of community. Even your local circle, your 10 people you influence.
I agree with you.
That's the change, bro. Everybody, that's what's going to trickle
That's
into
what we pretty much did in the
millions
pandemic.
and millions,
We kind of just,
Yeah.
We did, yeah.
I saw those clips. I can't even believe that I never even brought it up, but shout out to you guys for doing that, man. That was dope. The way y'all was volunteering and helping out and doing everything that you guys were doing.
Man.
That was dope, man. It's like obviously always been respect, but like looking at seeing y'all do that was very, very dope.
And I say shout out to Wifey for that too, because she's the one that kind of plugged me into that opportunity. And it's like
it wasn't even like it was just something you had to do, It wasn't like even like opportunity, like
just
you know what I mean?
There's a lot. Even now, I'm like, shit, I want to do more, right? Yeah. And then when an opportunity comes for you to do more,
you gotta do it.
You gotta do it. So I was like, okay, it was perfect. And
that's true. I became the Uptown Bronx division.
Yo, we loved it.
Because it was
amazing, bro.
There,
that sense of feeling, without getting all crazy deep and emo. But you got people during that time, because a lot of the people that were struggling were like, off without papers, right? And they're like pretty much praying for their next meals, and then all of a sudden, hey, they get a call.
Yeah.
Come meet us downstairs. We got some groceries for you. I feel like that kind of helps restore people's faith, and it really is. We have to help each other restore each other's faith.
Honestly, you're right. It wasn't like an opportunity taken kind of a thing, but I just wanted to bring it up because I can admittedly say that I have a tendency to get into my own world and my own thing, and sometimes you're just kind of a little bit oblivious to the things that other people are going through.
Too,
so when I seen y'all doing what y'all was doing, it made me feel like sometimes I'm like, why am I stressing things when there's a whole bigger world out there?
Right.
And it kind of puts things in perspective. That's the best way to put it. Yeah.
And what's funny, bro? We never, got COVID during that whole run ever.
So
Like,
after, yeah.
I got COVID like fucking 2 years
You
later.
caught it bad.
I caught it bad, but 2 years later.
Caught
you know
that
what I mean?
Delta
I
joint.
caught it pretty bad,
The
too.
Delta
Yeah,
Force.
when the shit
You know
morphed
what's
into
funny
something
that
else.
during all of that, it was surreal to me, bro. I didn't even, people applauded me. Like, I swear to God, bro. I was doing task rabbit work. People would come out their house. I'm like, yo, I'm just dropping. Like, because here's why. Because,
You're an essential worker. Like,
well, I wasn't caught up in, I never watched the news.
Yeah.
I never.
You kept living. Yeah.
Right. I was, no, but it was still surreal to see the empty ghost
streets,
towns.
vanilla sky type shit.
But
Yeah.
at the end of the day,
I
we
Am
don't
Legend.
understand the power of the media until you see it.
See
until
that?
you,
I could agree.
You know,
Right.
and that shit just shows you everything you need to know. So now I tune out even more. It's about tuning out because to me it was nothing extra. I wasn't doing anything that I would never not
hear that,
normally
yeah.
do.
Respect.
You know what I mean?
So,
Yeah.
and I think so. Like going back to what you were saying about like that we don't do anything even when we hear about trillions going missing or whatever. Like, what the fuck do we do? And it's like
There's nothing you can do, really.
you can't do shit, right? We're at that period right now where like the military of these governments are like God level, right? Like there's that skit, if you've ever seen it, from the guy that worked with Dave Chappelle, where they were like, they set up a battle between like the militias and like the one soldier, you know, and like the one soldier was like, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "Okay," and he hits the button. He's like, "They're all crowded in the same place." They're like, "Okay," and then
Just drop a fucking
drop-
drone on them.
right? So like, so I think like what you're saying, I agree with that as far as like we do our own thing and focus on the positivity, but also like as far as like fighting that system, since we can't do it by warfare realistically, right? I think it's fighting with what you spend on and fighting like, because like the fuel for all this shit is corporations and all the money that's
Agreed.
getting right.
Right.
So
It's,
like,
it's getting
Where
off
you-
the grid.
where you spend your
Getting
money.
off the grid.
But
The
al-
only way-
also-
Economic revolution. You're 100% right,
Yeah.
bro.
or
We've
mom and pop
spoken that
stores or
many
direct
times.
to like community or like
that's
you
why
know
they're
what I
trying
mean,
to
like smaller.
destroy the mom and pop stores.
Yeah.
There's a
I mean,
lot
they
of
have. They
business, a
destroyed
lot
a
of
lot of
business, not just
fucking-
mom and pop stores, but like big corporation business, chains, franchises. A lot of business have gone under from the pandemic.
It's like,
you
right,
know,
even with
people
with-
shoplifting.
with marijuana, right? Cannabis, they made it legal, right? So last year, they were a little sloppy with it, right? And everyone was fucking selling it. So just what they caught on paper,
They're making
was
their
like-
money back.
Was like $700 billion, right?
Of unlicensed.
Of unlike money so that's traceable. So now they want to tax it. So that means they're gonna fucking take $400 billion this year. Do you understand that, bro? That's fucking crazy.
Somebody's pocketing
crazy.
some of that shit.
Yeah.
One of
That's
these
crazy amounts
motherfucking
of-
suit and tie motherfuckers.
But not to get all scripturally too, but we will, in the scripture says, give unto Caesar what is Caesar's, give unto God what is God, right? So if you gonna partake in a society, you have to somewhat understand it and be a part of it to a certain degree, right? Flesh-wise, yeah. Spirit-wise, no. So that's the mastery of observing without absorbing, and I think that's should be all of our challenges, bro. Just because we gotta stay tapped in, but also not tapped into the point where it influences your peace.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Educated, not consumed.
And
Damn,
I
son.
think just to sum it
Pause.
up,
Yeah.
put a
Watch
bow
it.
on
Yo,
this.
you the summer, bro?
Human nature, right? Because you were talking about helping people. That's the lighter side of humanity, right? Because we think about us being violent and creatures of always wanting to fight and take over and dominate, but we're also kind people. We're our first instinct is to help one another. You know what I'm saying?
For sure, yeah.
When in need. So we definitely focus on that, the lighter side of humanity and helping one another.
For sure.
Yeah.
Group hug.
Wish this episode could
Kumbaya.
But yeah.
wish it could go on forever, but I think
I know,
we may
think
have
it's
to
time,
wrap. We
yeah.
might have
Yes,
to wrap
sir.
it up.
We
Yeah,
have to
to
start
bring
wrapping
it back
it up.
because
We
we
gotta
got to
do
go
part
into
two.
this T weapons back in the day stories that will.
That's only
Amazoras.
fans. That's only
That's for the
OnlyFans,
exclusive
bro.
content channel.
That's
Yeah,
for the,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
for the
That's for my
Patreon.
OnlyFans.
That's for the Patreon.
There's probably incriminating stories in there and shit.
Fucking Amazoras.
huge thanks to Is the Realest. You got something you want to say?
No.
Huge thanks to Is the Realest for coming on. Thank you to Towards Night for
Yeah,
being.
yo, Tian, and also shout out the Twitch. Please put that on there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Towards Night, right? That's the channel.
Twitch.tv/towardsnight. YouTube.com would be the best right now because I'm stuck at like 601 and I need to get to like 1,000 to like get full partner. So
cool.
so youtube.com/towardsnight
We'll put the
or
we'll
Twitch.
put
Subscribe to
things up there.
OSNV,
We'll put the
then
graphics.
put-
Yo,
then
put my
subscribe.
Instagram right here, bro. Right here, look.
There you go.
Is
You
the
got that?
realest. Word.
Yeah, nah, thank everybody
you
for
guys.
tuning
Yeah,
in.
man.
Thanks
Yeah.
for
Thank
having
you
me.
guys for having us. Yeah.
Yo, look, we back to
Absolutely,
back.
guys.
Last week, this week, we coming. We
Yo,
coming.
we
We
gonna
coming.
be more
we
con-
ended
more
the fourth
consistent,
quarter.
for real.
We
Back to
ended the
back.
fourth quarter. We got a lot of stuff coming. A lot of music, man. Looking forward to this. Yo, stay blessed, my people. Peace.
Peace.
Peace, y'all.